really funny because I saw this in here and I went to get the Kingdom Hearts compilation thing at work at the GameStop. And I put it in and guys like, oh, pre-order for Kingdom Hearts. I'm like, pre-order, motherfucker! I thought that was out.
God damn it, Nick.
So there's still
20 minutes later, Epic comes out and says, no, it won't.
You have mobile phones, you have Steam, you have Discord.
Mobile games don't count.
Oh yes, they do. We have to count them right there.
Welcome back to episode 32 of the theretrorents Retro Gaming Podcast, and I am Al.
I'm Kyle. I'm Nick.
What is up, fellas?
Yo.
How's everybody doing on this fine Friday?
Sit in the back with a Stouts Pale Ale.
I'm drinking a Two Gingers whiskey. Very good Irish whiskey, and for how cheap it is, very good.
I think you were telling me about that one.
Yeah, it's very tasty for a $20 fifth of Irish whiskey. It's very, very good. Highly recommend it. What do you got over there, Nicholas? Root beer float?
Water. Drink some water.
Oh boy.
That is the elixir of life.
Although I have to admit, this is going back a little bit. But I did see a screenshot, a picture, a Facebook post from you about 3 years ago that you actually found a beer that you like. And for everybody listening, I've never seen this boy drink. We used to have a band. We played and toured the area for about 7 years, and it was wonderful. He was our drummer and our drummer. Because the rest of us drank like fucking fish. And he would cart our ass to, like, of course, we'd all load up the equipment to and from, but man, when it came time to leave the show at night, Nick's like, alright fellas, let's go. Charlie's fall in the back seat. Fucking pass out. Oh, those are some fun days.
Do you remember that video?
I'm not even kidding you. Not even kidding you, Nick. I watched it yesterday. It's on YouTube. The bonus footage one. The one that's like the start to finish, like half-hour long one. Yeah, our guitarist got really smashed at one of our shows. We got back to the house, got all our equipment inside, and he basically passed out on the couch. And he's a real loud snorer. So like it started out kind of harmless. We were just filming how bad of a snorer he was. And then our other he kind of founded the band with me and eventually became a roadie. Our friend Dave had that reaction game where like everybody gets a paddle and it makes like a real obnoxious noise in the beginning. It's like doo 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 doo, and it's basically the adult game of hot potato. That when the light, like, it flashes red, and when it goes green, everybody's got to press the button on the paddle, on their paddle, and the last one to press it gets the shit shocked out of them. But if nobody presses it, then you all get shocked. So we basically took all 4 paddles and strategically positioned them on our passed out guitarist, and then filmed the results. It's on YouTube. Maybe I'll post the link in the Discord. It's pretty classic. But yeah, good times. So yeah, you're drinking water, but I'm amazed you found a beer. I was like, wow.
Right, pumpkin ale. Like, and it's seriously the only one that I actually love. So if it's in season, I'll often get it.
Yeah, I do love pumpkin ale. Actually, that's a favorite of mine. Somebody. Kyle still works with that I used to work with brews their own beer, and they made a pretty slammin' pumpkin ale, and pretty good. It's got me wanting to get back into microbrew eventually. But other than that, what's new? What's everybody been playing? What about you, Kyle?
Well, to be honest, I haven't been playing. I played a little bit this week, but we had an issue with our house. We had some pipes freeze up.
All right, can you sue that realtor at all?
No, sadly, I can't.
Because
I mean, I probably could, but I don't think it's going to do anything.
Yeah, I mean, maybe I'm going a little extreme, but like anybody that's listened to this podcast for more than like the last 5 episodes probably has heard that you're just having nothing but problems, man. Like, this sucks. I feel bad.
The good thing is it's going to be like a brand new house internally in the next month, probably, with all the work I have to do. But
are you redoing all the piping?
As it's failing, yeah. But this wasn't the piping's fault. It was weird because it's in the ceiling. Okay. So it's in the ceiling and it goes up to the second floor. So like there's the 2 running joists that are supports for the second floor running across. It's almost like a perfect channel for cold air to shoot in, and it's coming in. I think there's a hole in where the porch meets the house. There's like vinyl siding, so I can't see up there, but it's like the air's coming straight in, and it's just like a perfect wind tunnel for it to come in, and it's hitting the pipes.
In fairness, though, dude, this happened, Monday, right?
Yep.
Yeah, it was also like 30 fucking below zero that night. Like,
it was a vicious cold snap.
I mean, I'd be more than happy to blame your house, but like even my downstairs bathroom sink, the cold faucet froze.
Right, but I mean, get downstairs, and if this was a basement pipe, I would totally get it. But this was above my kitchen, going into the second floor. And
holy shit!
So it was really weird too, because if you walked upstairs, we took the carpet out from our hallway in the second floor because it was from 1970. It was disgusing.
Sounds like what I ripped out of this house.
It's horrible. So like, you know, my wife was finally like, you know what, I can't take it anymore. Rip it out. So we got rid of it, and I was walking to the day the pipes froze. I was walking to the bathroom at like 3 a.m, and I stepped where the same channel runs, and that spot in the floor was like ice.
Oh wow!
And I was like, holy shit, that was really cold. I didn't think of it though. I was like, going back to bed.
Yeah.
And that day when those pipes froze, we opened up and I cut the hole. I took the cabinets down and I cut a hole so they could warm up, and I stuffed insulation all in there so to stop the draft.
Yeah.
But anyway, I went upstairs. You would touch right where the channel runs, and it would be like ice cold, and you would move to where like the next 2 beams were running, and it was perfectly room temperature. It was just that one channel that went right to the pipes, right? So
maybe there's a body in there.
Oh, don't say that.
I'm just messing with you, dude.
No, that's creepy.
Jimmy Hoffa.
Could you imagine?
Haunting of Shirk House.
That's what's destroying everything. Bastards. But other than that, but what I've been playing really is it's been Splatoon 2 all week.
Yeah.
I'm doing really well multiplayer. I got a Nintendo Family Plan because Liam wanted to start playing online, and the dude he's been playing 3 days online, and he's level 6 or 7 already.
Wow, he's really into it then.
He's pretty good. And then I got the Octo expansion, which is pretty. It's weird. Like you're in like a subway, and you have to beat these challenges that they have, and some of them are really freaking tough.
Yeah.
And you have to get these things called thangs. And you get these 4 thangs, and it turns out like when you get them all, this telephone that talks to you puts it together. Like you're ready to go to the promised land, and you're like, yeah, let's go. And it turns it into a blender, and what the telephone was going to blend you up and eat you, which is really kind of dark because you're like an octopus, walking octopus, and it was going to liquefy you. And right before it does, an agent comes in, kicks the thing out, and then you got to try to escape. But man, it was really hard. There was a lot of really hard challenges in that.
Oh wow!
So, which was surprising because Splatoon single player isn't really that difficult.
Yeah, no, I've watched my brother-in-law play it. It doesn't seem to be that hard, but damn,
it's but that there were some difficult. I mean, there's some easy ones too, but there were some that really took me a while, and I was ready to throw the controller. So, classic Nintendo.
Yeah. We can talk about that when we get to the game of the month about throwing the controller.
Yep, but let's see. Other than that, TV show I've been watching. What's it called? Punisher season 2.
Good stuff.
Yeah. Did you watch first season?
I have not actually. I mean, I watched him in the Daredevil series. I watched that season 2 with him. I thought it was wonderful. So I do have to watch the actual Punisher series.
It's really good. The end of the first season, I was cringing. Nick, did you watch it at all?
No, not yet.
There's a scene with Lee's face and a mirror where I was just like, oh my God. And I don't normally get squeamish, but it was just like the sounds and the screen. I was just like, oh.
Oh, damn.
And that's how the first season ends. And that dude is in the second season. And it's I think it's going to be pretty good.
Sweet.
Yeah. Give it a watch.
No, I definitely will. Because, I mean, like, it kind of makes me anxious, because Disney's talking about doing their own streaming service. But they made it pretty clear they're not bringing the dark stuff over. So I wonder if Netflix will get to keep that. Because I think Netflix has done a wonderful job with the Marvel license. With everything.
Daredevil's fantastic.
Yeah, Daredevil is amazing. Like, such a perfectly done production. And I mean, yeah, they canceled it, but like, I just wonder what's going to happen to that stuff when the Disney streaming thing hits.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. But,
Yep.
That's
Oh,
fine.
and I did pick up this Kingdom Hearts compilation disc for HD remake on PlayStation 4 today. And
I know, I hate you. I wish they had that on Xbox.
Don't they don't have that on Xbox?
No.
Is that, no. Is but Kingdom Hearts 3 is coming out for Xbox, right?
Yes, and I have a bone to fucking pick with Nick on that.
Oh, okay. Well, before you do that, before you pick a bone with him, I also got Doom VR, which
how is that? How is that?
I didn't play it yet. I had a date night tonight, so I didn't get to play.
Oh.
So
You gotta let me know, dude.
I will.
Is it based off a previous Doom or?
So you're no longer you're not the Doom guy.
This was the Eternal or whatever it's called.
Yeah, this was before the latest Doom game took place. So it was right when the Hell Spawn was starting to take over.
Gotcha.
And I think you're like you're not so much a human, you're like a consciousness, and you can jump, I think you can jump from like scientist to scientist and like animate yourself, and that's how you fight the dead.
Huh.
But I think it's a lot of the same guns. I think that's how it goes. Don't hold me to that. I could be wrong, but I know you're definitely not the Doom guy, and you're not exactly human either, though.
All right, so you got some homework over the next 2 weeks. I want to hear about that. Yeah, VR is where it's at, man. I'm still borrowing Luke's Rift, and I'm just having so much fun with that.
It's good stuff.
Very cool.
I think I need to break down and finally get a VR headset.
It's not a gimmick anymore, man. I can't.
Oh even... I know it's like well beyond gimmick, and there's plenty of stuff. I mean, I already have a decent library of VR styled games from Steam that I've been playing single, and that's how I know it's fun, or it's more than just a gimmick. Is that the games are fun?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I can play them on the PC and have fun. It's like, okay, that's a good sign. It doesn't feel like it's not like like you remember when like 3D started to make its comeback again in like 2000s. Like everything's reaching towards you, and it's so gimmicky. It's like, oh, please just stop with that. Whereas
go see Beowulf. Oh boy,
the things come at you, and you can tell if you're watching it in 2D. It's like, okay, this is the 3D scene because this looks totally awkward out of context.
You know what the best thing was I saw in 3D in that like rebirth era was The Hobbit.
Agreed. They did it right because
they did it right.
Like there may have been like one scene. I think it was the river scene. It was the only one I could point to. Is like, okay, that was like legitimate setup for. It was like the axe chopping the log thing. It's like, okay, that was like super legitimate. That was designed for 3D. But yeah, the rest of the movies, I agree. Like absolutely, like hands down, it's like they didn't have or. If they had 3D in mind, it was so covert.
It was subtle. Like the one that sticks out to me the most from that entire movie in the 3D scene was like after they had left the Shire and they were kind of just walking through the forest, and I just remember this one shot of like the dwarves walking down the path, and it looked like they were just kind of walking in front of me in the distance. I was like, God damn, that is subtle. That is brilliant.
Yes.
Like perfect.
I think that and the fact that they did it in double frame rate. I think it was like 60 frames and all.
Yes, yeah, they did with the red lens or whatever it is.
And basically each eye got 30 frames a second versus like standard one. It basically divides 24 by 2, makes 12 frames per eye.
I mean, as you know,
that always gave me a headache.
Yeah. As you know, like I'm obsessed with the Lord of the Rings, and the original trilogy will always be my favorite. But I will say, on a technological standpoint, The Hobbit really does stand on its own. That was cool. But yeah, oh boy, I'm like going down the track here. Did you watch anything cool, Kyle, or is that pretty much it? Aside, just Punisher.
No, actually, I have not watched. Even with the whole thing with patching this drywall and shit, I just haven't had a lot of time to sit and watch. The Punisher was just a couple episodes while I was working from home. So,
cool.
Sadly, that was just about it. I didn't really get to watch too much else or play anything else this week. Cool. So, what about you
guys? So for me, I went a little retro. Was it earlier in the week or last? I think it was last weekend. I wound up doing a stream of Quest for Glory 2 Trial by Fire.
I got a little bit of that.
Yep. I wound up grabbing the VGA version that some independent development studio did, because the original version of that game by Sierra was a 16-color EGA game. And they really did a wonderful remake, VGA-wise. So it was fun to play, and it was fun to stream. Jeremy from Bad Fodder Figures showed up, and he had great commentary as always. I think my favorite was "This needs VR support." But the best part of that, Nick had showed up towards the end, and everybody was just kind of hanging out. And I had gotten to the end of day 2. And for anyone that's played Quest for Glory 2, it's kind of that Arabian Nights setting, and you stay at this inn in the main city at night, and they're like your friends from the first game own it. And at the end of the second night, the guy's wife does this dance, and it's it's like belly dancing entertainment for the people at the inn. And I had jokingly said, "Oh, here it comes, Jeremy! It's gonna get sexy for you." And in the original game, you sit down and she comes out and dances, and it's just a little fun thing, and all is done. So the character goes in the VGA version, sits down, and everything's starting out the same, and all of a sudden I hear do never gonna give you up, and all of a sudden it's freaking Rick Astley dancing across the screen, and I'm like, what the fuck? And everybody watching the stream just lost it, because you could tell I wasn't expecting it, and neither was anybody else. And Nick just types WTF. And you click the mouse and it's like, "You've just been rickrolled." I was like, wow. And I mean, for anyone that knows the Quest for Glory games, it's loaded with puns like that. But it's cool that the new developers kind of added their own little twist there, and that was just funny. And I'm glad everybody was there. We all kind of caught it live, and it was just a really funny moment. So thanks everybody, for showing up. That was cool. Other than that, I did some Bard's Tale 4 streaming. That was a lot of fun. Had some people show up for that. I know Jeremy always busts on me. I got this brand new PC set up, and I'm streaming games from 1992. But the new Bard's Tale is a really nice, pretty looking game, and it's just a lot of fun, and it was cool to stream that for a while. Other than those two, I've been playing, not streaming, Valkyria Chronicles 4. I'm so hooked on that right now. It's kind of like a Square-style JRPG, but not by Square, I don't think. But it's like Band of Brothers meets Final Fantasy Tactics. It's the best way I can describe it, and it's really cool. It's kind of like a faux World War II alternate history. Every country's kind of named the same, but it's like a fantasy version of Earth. And the tanks there's tanks in it, and they're powered by magic engines and stuff. It's really neat. And I've been having a blast with that. But then as far as watching, holy crap. Okay, if you guys have Netflix, has anyone seen the Firefest documentary yet? I mean, everybody's talking about it.
I keep hearing about this.
I haven't even heard of it.
I know of the Firefest, and I keep hearing this documentary is super crazy and insightful.
It's insane. It's insane. So, Kyle, just to give you an idea, some guy who was kind of this hotshot New York entrepreneur a couple years back just started this sudden like ad/influencer campaign on the internet with like models and Ja Rule, and like they kept promoting this thing called Fire Festival.
Is this where he leaves him stranded?
Yes.
Yeah,
okay.
Like it's on an island
when this happened,
in the Caribbean or something like that. Yeah.
You have to see this documentary. Holy shit.
Dude,
like,
it would have been so great if he would. I'm sorry to cut. If he would have been there, everybody showed up, and it would have been one little boombox playing Rick Astley.
It pretty much was.
It practically was, yeah. Like
that's
like,
amazing.
I know from like the news accounts and whatnot. Like, yeah, there were like, shoddy tents. There was no like waste disposal. There was really no food.
But it's like a step further than that, because the way they promoted it, because they made
it look like Club Largo or something.
Yeah, they basically took over one of Pablo Escobar's islands, but the island had like no infrastructure. It had an airstrip from 1962 that nobody really manned, and like there was nothing. There was no like. And no sewage, no, running water. Like, it all had to be brought in. So, he was selling, like, hey, for $4,000. Or it was probably more than that. It was probably like $14,000.
Yeah, that was the clientele he was going after was like, we're talking like whales.
Uber rich.
Yeah, like uber rich kids. And
uber rich and like with nothing better to do than to look for a party weekend. And
yeah.
It was like, and that's what all the advertising was for.
Yeah. $80,000 gets you a cabana, and you could party with Kylie Jenner. Like it's insane the way they promoted this, and like I don't want to spoil it, but like yeah. So the people that like paid for the $40,000 cabana got a hurricane tent, and it's interesting to see like just how deep that rabbit hole went, and by the end of it you're like, holy shit, like how is this guy? I mean you'll see what happens, but it's really worth a watch. It's interesting because they interview quite a few people, and a lot of these people you feel bad for. Like the people I felt bad for the most in that were the developers. As far as this all really started out as an app. That's the weirdest part. Is it started out as an idea for an app where you could book celebrities for like private events. And so there's like these developers working really hard on this app, and this festival was going to be the way to like kick it off. Like this was going to kick off that app, and here's the celebrities we can get you. And you just see these developers like myself in the in previous jobs and others where it's like, oh man, this is going places. It's like 2 weeks later, oh well, time to look for new employment. But
that sounds awful to be the celebrity in that situation.
I'm telling you gotta watch it.
With a bunch of strangers and people you don't know, they're gonna be fawning over you. I'd be like, I'm good.
Yeah, like I at one point, one of my favorite parts. And there's so much, like, I'm spoiling a little bit, but it ain't gonna, ruin it. But, like, Blink-182 was supposed to play a show, and, like, 3 weeks before, they're like, yeah, we can't really play the show there that we think our fans deserve, so we're pulling out. And, how prescient of them.
Oh, well, I want to say they weren't the only ones. Like I didn't see the documentary, but there was supposed to be like a whole line of like entertainment essentially.
Yep. Yeah.
And a lot of them just like back out at the last minute. It's like something's not right here.
Something stinks in
Kansas
over there. Yeah, no, you got to check it out, Kyle and Nick. It's worth a watch. It's like an hour and a half, but you're one of the. It's one of those like as the movie progresses, you're just like, all right, the shit can't go any deeper than this. Like this is the fucking bottom right here, right? And then that collapses and you plummet another 100 feet. But yeah, it's pretty interesting.
But, I'm checking that one out for sure.
What about you, Nick? What have you been watching? What have you been playing?
Oh, but just relaxing between work. So so always the last work has ended and the new work starts on Monday. So, I think it'll be good. It'll be good. But I've been catching up on doing some marathoning of The Next Generation on Amazon since they got that on via Prime.
Oh, wonderful!
So I'm like, I have that on the background. And
did you get to the Inner Light yet?
No, I haven't gotten to that. I think that's in the latter season. I'm on like season 4 right now.
Okay, that's my favorite one. Oh wait, so you're
yeah.
like in the Sherlock Holmes season, I think.
Yeah, I think close to it. Yeah, they've had 1 or 2 already, and it kind of pops up in various episodes.
Oh, so good.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's like, man, this was like I hate to feel like sounding old. It's like, man, they don't make television like this anymore.
They don't. But you're so right. They don't. Like TNG was one of those. It was such a staple of like 5 o'clock television when I was growing up. And
exactly.
Every episode was good, man. God damn. I mean, they had 1 or 2 stinkers, but you're talking a 10-year series almost.
Yeah, exactly. So like 7 seasons, I think it was.
Yeah, 7. Yeah, so good though.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh god damn you! Now I gotta go watch.
now you gotta go.
I still say you got to check out Discovery though.
Oh yeah. Oh, I got to sign up for that free 7-day. I'm almost kind of waiting. I wonder if they're gonna put up the second season the same way. I might wait for it to do that and just like marathon 1 and 2. Because apparently the second season is doing a lot of like Christopher Pike stuff.
Oh, cool.
Leads up, kind of merges with the original series, Enterprise and whatnot.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay.
It's great though.
Color me interested.
Yeah, I loved season 1. Loved it.
Excellent.
Yeah, they're doing it right.
Cool.
Sorry, go ahead.
Anyway, so on the gaming side of things, I've been jumping finally into Witcher 3. It's been in my Steam library forever. I played it like an hour or something way back in the day, but then I like totally forgot about it. And it's like, oh man, I want to play a single player game. What's a good one? Witcher 3. So I've been diving into that and having a hell of a fun time with that.
Yeah,
it's like, why did I wait so long?
It's the Red Dead of medieval RPGs, man.
It really is, and it also it's like yes, like if this is what we're gonna get for like Cyberpunk in terms of like
my god,
the feel of storylines, like I cannot wait now. It's kind of like like I didn't even intend for this to happen, but it's like oh, you know what, like they're making Cyberpunk. This is gonna be awesome. It's gonna be like Witcher in the future type of thing. It's like yes,
CDPR has become like the new developer I can count on, because I've been playing since The Witcher 1. Not a lot of people liked it, but I did enjoy The Witcher 1. I thought it had a great story and I was excited for 2, but by the time I played 3, I'm like, man, these guys are going to be like the new Bethesda that doesn't screw over their fans.
What's the thing, like they've never been, I wouldn't say known for like really pushing the boundary in terms of like the visual look of a game necessarily.
Although Witcher 3 is fucking beautiful.
Oh yeah, like Witcher 3, like I think that's when they really got to that even keel level of like AAA game, AAA look. It's still kind of holding up.
And you can grow a beard.
Yeah, that's true. And yeah, so it's like, and like obviously the demo of Cyberpunk looks absolutely gorgeous. So it's like,
great.
How far are they going to push it with that? But yeah, absolutely. Like they've always been really, really solid around story. Like that's been a center point for them. So.
Yep. Oh, I can't wait to hear as you get further in it what you think. I think that's one of the best games of the past like at least 5 years. It's so good. So good. Did I cut out?
No, you're good.
All right. Nope. Everything just got really quiet.
We were listening to the smooth sound of your voice, Al.
Shut your mouth.
Yes.
All right, so Nick's played The Witcher. That will bring us over to upcoming releases of interest. I'm going to let you guys handle these. Because I think, you guys know all these. So go ahead. I've talked enough. Go ahead.
Yeah. So today we got. Tell me if I'm wrong. It feels like we went through this huge lull in games in like November, December. Like there's almost nothing.
Yeah. No, you're right.
Getting this huge deluge in the early part of the year.
Except you're wrong about Kingdom Hearts 3, and Amber wants to punch you in the nose.
Oh, why is that?
Because it's only today for Japan.
Oh, we've been duped.
I saw this last night. I was like, Amber, I didn't realize. I'm like, it's a special day tomorrow. And she's like, Kingdom Hearts 3? She's been waiting for this for 14 years. And I go to open up the game today, and it's like, you're too early.
So when does it release in the US?
The 29th. It releases on Tuesday.
Oh, Tuesday.
You disappointed my children.
I disappointed. You know what? Nothing but disappointment.
That's really funny because I saw this in here and I went to get the Kingdom Hearts compilation thing at work at the GameStop. And when I put it in, the guy's like, "Oh, pre-order for Kingdom Hearts." I'm like, "Pre-order, motherfucker! I thought that was out today."
God damn it, Nick.
So there's still time for me to catch up.
I've been lied to. Well, I apologize. Barely comes out the 29th then. Well, that's right. I was bamboozled on some of the other ones because it came out on console and not PC. I'm like, oh, son of a.
You're technically not wrong. I mean, it did come out today, just not here.
Just not here. That's right.
Just have her order it from Japan. I mean,
come on. Just take a flight to Japan, bring it back.
Is he angry?
So angry. I could feel the flames.
He's not even talking. Lose Al. Al, we're just joking, man.
Come back, Al.
Oh, come on.
Is he actually there? Apparently, he's just throwing the computer down the stairs or something.
Are you back?
Yeah, sorry about that.
That's okay. I cut out 2 there for a second.
Oh, poor Nick. Where did we leave off? I'm marking that.
Games that are indeed coming out today. Resident Evil 2 Remake is today for all areas and whatnot. So there's no lie there.
That looks pretty sweet. I gotta say, like,
it does look good.
I'm probably gonna be picking up because I never actually played the original Resident Evil 2.
See, I didn't like it because I didn't like, driving a human tank. I hated the controls. Man. I hated the controls in that. So it'll be interesting to play it with the more like modern Resident Evil interface.
Yeah, and it looks fantastic too. So
oh hell yeah!
Check it out.
Yeah, it looks great. And then the big one. Oh damn! Some of the big ones coming.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Geez, I know I'm not into any of these, so this
nothing.
Is you guys.
All right. Well, Metro Exodus is coming out February 15th of the Metro series. I think it's the 3rd one now.
Yeah, Co's going to be doing an early stream of that. I'm going to check that out.
Yeah, it should be good. Anthem is the next big BioWare game. It's already in VIP release right now.
They had the VIP beta or something like that.
Yeah, like I'm keeping an eye on it. Like
I'm waiting on reviews. It sounds like Destiny.
Well, that's what I'm getting from like some of the early reviews that I'm seeing now. Like some of the bigger companies are getting like 2-hour access and whatnot. And yeah, that's what it's sounding like. It's like, okay, this is a Destiny thing. It's very much, Diablo-esque in terms of like, the real main drive is just going to be the grind. It's going to be go out, grind a dungeon, bring stuff back, get more equipment, rinse, repeat. Now, obviously, there will be a story here, but the question is it going to be worth it? Like they do say, like it has those BioWare elements.
I was going to say, is it going to be BioWare or is it going to be EA?
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Like they do say there, the elements of BioWare are there, but I feel like that's probably the story half of things. But EA is kind of plastered all over everything else in terms of the cosmetics is how they do. They're going to do the pay service and whatnot for it. Even though it's buy to play, but they always got to put in microtransactions somewhere, and that's going to be
EA will find a way to fucking charge you for clothes.
Yeah, exactly. Clothes, emotes, you name it. Non pay to win stuff, which gets a pass, but at the same time, it's like okay, it's like everyone's doing this.
Yeah, like come on, guys.
The question is, what are they going to do with any DLC? Is it going to be free? I think I saw something where in theory that's going to be free, but I haven't. I got to find it again. So I'm interested to see how that plays out. I'm on the fence. It definitely same as you. Like I want to see kind of the reviews. I kind of maybe want to see a little bit of initial play. I do want to check it out, but the question is, do I want to pay full price? I'm thinking right now I'm going to wait for it to drop the price.
I'm with you.
To do the story. Like I'll hands down do the story because I noticed the same thing happened with Diablo. It's like I enjoyed Diablo 3 thoroughly, but I'm not there to like play and grind and get the most elite gear whatsoever. Like I enjoyed to play the story. I think I did 1 or 2 seasons that they did. I was like, oh, cool stuff. I'll check it out.
I gotta say though that the recent seasons are pretty awesome, dude.
Yeah, yeah, like don't get me wrong, like it's great for like, oh, I want to play this again. Let's play, I'll play this new season. I'll get whatever the cool stuff is.
It might still be going on, but Luke and I played for a while. They do every January now, ever since I think it was like the 20th anniversary of Diablo. Every January
nice.
They do the Darkening of Tristram, where you go in the first act, you go to where Tristram is, and there's an old-fashioned blue portal, and you step through it, and it puts you into a rift. Level? It puts you into a rift that's basically Diablo 1.
Oh, nice.
And like you go through the levels of the catacombs, you fight the Butcher, you fight Laeric, like you go all the way down to the bottom, you fight Lazarus, and then you fight Diablo. It's actually a ton of fun. And the graphics change. The graphics in the interface look like to Diablo like 1-esque, yeah.
Nice. That's a clever way to do kind of like a seasonal event. That's great.
Oh, it's an absolute blast. I don't know if it's still going on. It might be. I know it's only in January though, so if it is still going on, you only probably got like 2 days. Like, but jump on it. Like it's worth it. Like you can just take poke my head in, take a fresh character and just poke your head in. You'll have a blast. Like I played through it myself, just solo, and I had a great time.
Nice. But, I'll have to check that out. But yeah, so so that's where we are with Anthem.
Yeah, I'll wait.
I'm keeping an eye on it, but
I'm still shell shocked from Fallout 76. I've kind of become
nonplussed. Yeah, it's like Fallout 76 and Mass Effect Andromeda were kind of nonplussed me to the BioWare side of things. So it's like I will wait on this one.
Yep, I'm gonna wait and see. One that I'm not going to wait and see on, and I actually reached out to them yesterday to see if I could get a review copy. I don't even want it early, but if you want to give it to me early, Creative Assembly, I would not be argumentative with you. But that would be Total War 3 Kingdoms coming in March.
Nice. Total War game.
You can't go wrong. Like, if you like strategy games, like turn-based campaign games, and then, like, the real-time combat portion is like watching a Braveheart movie with, like, thousands of troops.
Yeah, it's like
it's just like, great. Yes. It's just
glorious.
Great. And the Warhammer games have been fantastic. The most recent iterations of Total War, there's been 2, for the past couple of years, were 2 Warhammer, Fantasy Warhammer Total War games.
Yeah,
and they're
those
great.
Are pretty solid.
They're absolutely great. But this one's going to Ancient China. Cannot wait. If I do get an early preview copy, I'll let you guys know, and
yeah, absolutely,
I'll start giving some impressions. But I mean, I've been playing this series for 20 years now. Shogun was almost 20 years ago, dude.
Has it really been that long?
It has been 20 years since Shogun came out. Shogun Total War. Might be 19 years. I think it came out in 2000, so either way, it's still a long goddamn time. And
yeah, they an incredible, not that it's over, but it's like they've had a very good run today. They haven't really steered wrong, I think.
No, I was gonna say they never did a bad one.
Some maybe soft ones. I want to say I think I almost want to say Shogun 2 was a little soft, only because it was kind of like retreading / updated graphic, but it was still solid.
Shogun 2 was pretty good. I think that was one that got really graphically advanced, and it got better with the expansions.
Yeah, I think that's where it started to like, okay, it's like, yeah, now it's really, really worth it. I mean, it was never a failure, but it was like, they're definitely like, the title was a little bit soft.
It was a little lukewarm. Rome, you might be thinking Rome 2, like actually.
Maybe it was Rome. Yeah, Rome 2. One of them where they repeated, and it was like, okay, we kind of got the same thing again.
No, sorry, I know what you're talking about now. It's Attila.
Oh, was it Attila? Okay.
It was Attila. Yeah, but that was, but again, it was still good.
But yeah, but the fact that I can't like pick it out, it's like it didn't stand out by itself. Like, oh, this is the worst thing ever. You should never, totally avoid. It was just like, it was just soft. Like for the veterans, it was like, okay, we've kind of been through this before. Yeah. If you've never played it before, you enjoyed it thoroughly.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with a Total War game, though. I would say the Empire series was fantastic. That was such a great direction for that. That went into the the Revolutionary War.
Oh, I love that. Yeah,
it was so good. And then like the expansions brought it into the age of colonialism and imperialism. So you had forming the United States, and then you had like the British colonization of India and Napoleon's campaigns, and It was just
Oh
very.
yeah, Napoleon. I love the Napoleon game. That was fantastic.
Oh, it's a great series. Like you could tell those guys know their history. So the fact that they're doing an ancient China, you know, Red Cliff Total War, I'm so stoked. So.
Yeah, was it the Three Ming Dynasty? I think it right.
Yeah, the Three Kingdoms. It's Liu, Wei, and I forget what's the other one. Liu Wei, and there's one more, and I'm forgetting it. But yeah, it's gonna be fantastic. It's basically if you played Dynasty Warriors, this is gonna be the big boy version of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, the next one might be you or Kyle.
It was me.
All right, hit it up, Butter.
I don't know. Did you guys ever hear of the arcade one-up machines that they came out with?
Yes, Glove Box.
The 3/4 size.
Yeah, Glove Box over on Bad Fodder Figures as a couple. They look cool as hell.
They do. And they're releasing 3 more actually in February. So they're coming up really soon. And like I like the other ones. I'd really like to get the Pac-Man one and maybe the Street Fighter 2 one, but I think I'm in for actually 2 of the 3 of these. So they're coming out with the Mortal Kombat one themed, and the cabinet matches the Mortal Kombat 2 cabinet.
Nice.
Oh, that's awesome.
It has Mortal Kombat 1, Mortal Kombat 2, and Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3.
Oh, holy shit.
Yeah, and I guess, well, I'll get into some of the issues people are having, but the developers of these have been really awesome. But Capcom's coming out with a second one that has Final Fight artwork. Obviously, it has Final Fight, Ghost and Goblins, 1944, and Strider included in the cabinet.
Good list.
Yeah.
Excellent cabinet, yeah. Something for everybody there, really. And the third one I thought was kind of funny because you don't think of this one as being an arcade game, but like Golden Tee. But you think about every bar.
Yeah, I was going to say
rollerball.
Yeah.
Dude, every dive bar I ever had a few drinks in, I fucking dumped a few quarters in the Golden Tee. Like I'm tempted.
Was that or bowling? It was
right.
always one of the two.
It was one of the most successful arcade games actually ever made. So basically, because it was just a bunch of drunk people swinging a golf club, seeing how fast and really how much did you really golf and how much were you fast I could spin that ball.
You'd like warm it up, like
sure.
Hey, I'll just say, no matter how much I drank, I was never like that guy in The King of Kong that had his specialized glove for that.
What? I missed that. What, was that in there? He had a special glove?
Yeah, for what was it, Crystal Palace? He's like, I have this glove. You know, when you're playing this, you get blisters on your palms. If you're going for a record, I'm like, oh god.
Blisters on his palms. What else is he using that damn thing for?
God only knows.
So a couple cool things with these. It looks like, at least on the Capcom box, they actually, they have the risers so you can actually stand up to play. It makes it more like a legit arcade machine.
Oh, that's cool.
Still not quite as big, but these riser box, like the one for Final Fight or Capcom, has barbed wire and Final Fight artwork that continues down onto the riser box, where the original ones were only black. So this is cool. It brings the artwork down. Makes it a little more custom. And I know there's been some complaints where the paint's wearing off on when people play. So now they're including plexiglass, so it covers the control board, so it's not wearing out. And I think even if you bought cabinets before, you can get them for free from the company.
Wow!
So they're making good on that. A couple of the old machines, I don't remember. I think it was Centipede. I want to say was having a board problem, and they're sending replacement boards to people who bought the game for free.
I'm really tempted, man. I'm really tempted.
They seem like they're really listening to complaints. The only thing I think that they're charging people for is which one is it? Centipede that uses that? Which one uses not the roller but like the spinner? Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Asteroids, I think.
Oh yeah.
I think it was Asteroids where it uses like they were having problems where it was like really clicky. And you can pay for an upgraded replacement, but that's the only thing that they're charging people for. But I think that's a pretty expensive piece.
Yeah, it's probably not cheap.
So I'm excited. I really want to get a Pac-Man, the Mortal Kombat 2, and this Capcom one here. I think
the Pac-Man one has Miss Pac-Man, right?
I think so. Don't hold me to that though.
If it does, I might have to get that for Am at some point. That's like her favorite arcade game. I'd get her that one, and I'd probably pick up the Mortal Kombat cabinet.
I do prefer Miss Pac-Man over regular Pac-Man myself.
Me too. Much better game.
It's hang on, I'm pulling it up. fucking Walmart. I hate Walmart. The website you pull it up, and no, it just has Pac-Man and Pac-Man Plus.
Hmm.
And that's $2.99. I mean, they're a little pricey, but you know what? To have, could you imagine having just a game room with a couple of these in there? I think
the only thing that makes me a little
really
anxious with those, and like I had come close to buying some arcade cabinets back in my single days, but if anything goes wrong with that, like I'm a mechanical moron. Like it's done unless like I know somebody that can come over and fix it.
I don't think. Oh my God, they're coming out with the Karate Champ one also.
Oh, get out of here.
That game, I hated that game. That's amazing. Yeah, I don't think these are like regular, like previous arcade machines with a bunch of wires going on to like a board. I don't know how these are actually set up. It might not be as hard because I think you have to build these when you buy them.
Okay.
So, and I'm sure their instructions are step by step. And the thing is, if you build it when you buy this thing and you build it,
yeah,
you're gonna know what the components are, where they go. You know, it would make it a lot easier. I'm sure they give you plenty of instructions and help on how to do this. I mean, they seem like a pretty legit company.
Yeah, I think when we finish, we've just about got the basement cleaned out, and I think we're gonna talk about getting some stuff down there to finish part of it up. Maybe I will pick one up at some point for downstairs. That would be pretty sweet.
So you said Crystal Castles with the trackball, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's on the Centipede box.
Great.
Centipede, Missile Command, Crystal Castle, and I can't read that. Millipede is the last one.
Okay. Yeah. That's pretty cool.
I want to see what else is on that Karate Champs. It is pretty cool. It's good to see that. It's just kind of a neat idea, and I think I'm in for at least one or two of these.
It's aiming at people like us, that grew up in arcades. Kids today would see that, they wouldn't even know what the hell it was. Like,
no, you're right.
I'm not even.
You gotta use your hands. Like
That's a baby's toy.
It's a baby's toy.
Elijah Wood's first movie appearance.
Oh, the Karate Champs box has bad dudes on it.
Are you the
bad dude?
So what was it, Kyle? Nope, that was like our first episode. Are you the baddest of baddest dudes? What the hell was that?
I don't know. That whole opening is ridiculous.
Yeah, it was like, are you bad enough to be one of the baddest dudes? It was like one of the first games we talked about.
The president has been kidnapped by ninjas.
Yeah.
You're a bad enough dude to save the president.
That's what it was. Are you a bad enough dude to save the president? And then, was it you or Travis? When he was like, nobody's a bad enough dude.
Are you a bad enough dude to rescue Ronnie? I think that's what
that's awesome. That is awesome. All right.
Yeah. Pretty cool.
That is pretty cool. I'm looking forward to eventually grabbing that Mortal Kombat cabinet. I know Amber loves Ultimate MK3, and we'll hide it from the girls until they're older.
I'll let her know I'll tell her it's coming out the week before it actually comes out.
I'm telling you, she was ready to murder. She had her whole day planned out. She's like, son of a bitch. I'm like, you can blame Nick. She's like, yeah, you let him know.
Blame Uncle Nick.
She's like, you let him know I'm pissed. All right, let's move on to news.
News. Just gets better from here.
It does. Okay, this next one looks like you, Kyle, or might be Nick. I don't know. I'll let you run with it. It's Switch news.
No, it's me. Pretty much any Nintendo news is usually me. So, Switch, it has been found that they might be coming out with some Super Nintendo games on their streaming service that they have. I don't know exactly how this was found out. I think someone was looking at something with the code of the games being released, and they found either an emulator or some signs to point to some Super Nintendo games possible.
Interesting.
It is interesting. A lot of it's going to be what's already on the SNES Classic.
Yeah.
I can run down
Makes
the games
sense.
real
They
quick.
have it all set, ready to go. Then
yeah, I guess it does make sense.
Yeah. There's a couple differences. Like, hold on, I'm on here. I'm on the website and the auto video is playing, and I hate that.
Oh, that always drives me nuts.
There we go. So, I mean, you're going to have your ones like Super Mario World 2, Stunt Race FX, Kirby's Dream Course, Star Fox, Contra 3, the same things, but they have a couple on here that are possibilities of being on this list. And right now these are just rumor, but The Legend of Mystical Ninja, Breath of Fire 2,
Good stuff.
Demon's Crest.
Good stuff.
Yeah, really cool if those are on there. I don't know, Super Soccer, which would be...
That's a great game, actually.
Sports game. Poppin' Twinbee.
Never heard of it.
Never heard of that one.
Never
Super Ghouls and Ghosts, which is on the Super Nintendo one. But yeah, all the other ones like Pilot Wings F-Zero, the ones you would expect to be on there.
Okay.
I thought Breath of Fire 2 and Demon's Crest, if they could add those two, that would be
pretty sweet.
Be a pretty badass list. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be pretty great. Those are great games.
So I'm hoping this turns out to be real. I mean, they have to add some Super Nintendo titles. There's no reason why they can't.
I mean, it doesn't make sense not to.
Right.
So.
All
right, Nick.
Yeah, hopefully it comes out.
This one has to be Nick.
Oh, yes. In the wide world of crazy things with new games, Atlas has had its fair share of rough start. Granted, again, it's still early access, but this goes again beyond early access problems in that
Arc Pirate 76.
yeah, exactly. Arc Pirate mod. Apparently, one of the admin accounts, like the I don't know if it was necessarily a developer, but like one of the people tied directly to the studio, had their admin account compromised. And the hackers in question decided to spawn in things that weren't supposed to be there. They just basically went into the back files and started spawning all sorts of things, including apparently like planes, Corsair planes, 47s that are in the back files. Obviously, they don't plan on releasing planes in Pirate, but that's meant for probably more the mod community, but they aren't supposed to do that. They spawned tanks that were apparently in there. They spawned in whales. Now, there is supposed to be whaling in Atlas, but they haven't turned it on yet for good reason.
Let me guess. Fisher Stevens came out of a back room and said, "Would Her Holiness mind changing her password?"
Yes.
God.
Yeah, guard.
Oh
man,
my god,
that's a classic.
Yeah, that one made me laugh.
Lockdown, don't use simple passwords apparently, and look out because it was caught on stream. Some of the bigger streamers, if you ever look up Burke Black, he's one of the streamers I like to follow. He had several. He had the whales one on his stream, and then
check that out.
And another one was the plane one. Now, funny enough, he wasn't looking at the screen. He was like typing or something. So he's looking off to the side. All of a sudden, this plane comes out of nowhere, crashes into their boat. And he's like, what the hell just happened?
Oh, God, this sounds like a train wreck. I'm so tempted to watch.
Oh, it's definitely worth checking out. Like, it's quick little like 30-second thing. They have it clipped and whatnot. But yeah,
I'll watch it. Yeah, what? For sure. God, this game sounds like a train wreck. Oh.
Like hopefully they can slowly improve it, but I don't know. I'm just not being impressed by it. I mean, I understand it's early access, but it's just like I don't know.
I just feel like I feel like they're charging way too much for it. It's a mod. It's not a. They sold it as a game when it's actually more of a mod. I guess that's the only way I can describe it.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Meh. All right. This next one might be you, Kyle, but I know exactly what it is.
Madbox.
Yes, Madbox. Talk of the town past couple weeks.
Yeah, I'm sure most of you have heard of it, but the CEO of the studio who made Project Cars is touting a brand new console that they're coming out with, and it's promising you pretty much everything. I mean, his first tweet, "What is Madbox? The most powerful console ever built." Literally mad. That's like 90s dude.
Yeah. 90s
Needs more X's.
Yeah, so much dude.
You want 4K? It's extreme Madbox.
Truckosaurus.
You want 4K? You want VR at 60 frames per second? You want a full engine and free to develop your games on it? You have it. Anyway, after that ridiculousness, I mean, he's even trying to promise VR games at 120 frames per second, 90 frames per eye.
Yeah, except nobody can see that, so nice try, dipshit.
Right, so, I mean, he's really hyping it up. He released some prototypes that are weird.
They're
the
weird
ones
looking.
a shape in a loopy M, which there's no way. Where are you going to put that? The hell are you going to fit that? That's not going to fit in an entertainment center.
Yeah, it's just weird. Like,
is it supposed to be like? Is it supposed to be like a standalone? Like it would be like Xbox or PlayStation? Or
yeah, it's supposed to be a standalone.
Or is it like Soldier Boy's console, which is supposed to do?
Let's not even talk about that fucking lie.
Oh, you
what
know
a lie.
He tried to say out with something else. Did you guys hear about that?
What was that? What?
So after he removed all of his products, he tried selling something else. It looked like a PSP. Did you guys ever hear of Re-Res?
No.
It's ringing a bell.
He does a whole video on it. It's the most ridiculous thing, and actually his site's taken down, not even up anymore. But he tried again after Nintendo told him to knock it off.
Well, the best part was this week he was talking about his new console, and he's like, and it's going to have Fortnite on it. 20 minutes later, Epic comes out and says, no, it won't.
Dude just got to stop.
Oh, what a douchebag.
You know how this works.
That's not how this works. The thing with the Madbox, and I gotta give credit where it's due. Captain Mike over at Bad Fodder Figures had a really awesome point about this, and it's not impossible, but it is damn close to break into the market with a new console at this point. And it's not so much a hardware thing. It's really not. It's a service thing. Because...
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
You got to look... I mean, like, Microsoft. You've got Xbox Live Gold. And... a console's got to get third-party developers behind it. That's the first part. And that's usually the toughest part. But now... in this day and age, it's even harder because now you got to have a service that gives you a reason to get that console. Like, it's the main reason I'm going to be buying an Xbox in the next gen, whatever that one's going to be, because thanks to Xbox games with gold, thanks to Game Pass, I have a ton of digital games that they give away every month. Like, I'm getting, it's like 6 games a month between gold and Game Pass gives you a bunch. And, well, Game Pass gives you way more than that. It's like 100 games. So it's like, if you're going to come out with a console, you got to have a service to match something like that. Because, I mean, why else? Why would I get a console? A new one. I mean, in a weird way, it's kind of why I haven't gotten a PlayStation this gen. And I'd love to, because there's games I want to play. But, I mean, I'm getting more than enough games just by having the Xbox and the services that it offers. I don't know. I don't know what you guys think, but I don't see Madbox pulling this off.
I think I'm okay with if they want to come out with another system. I'm never going to be against another system.
No, me neither. That's good for the market.
But my first thing is I'm not trusting any system that comes out promising you everything.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's every time a developer or CEO somebody promises you want this, you got it. You got everything you want. Look at like No Man's Sky. Look at No Man's Sky. I think ColecoVision, when that was coming out, that was a disaster. He was trying to promise everything with going back to like retro gaming and cartridges and all that, and it just doesn't work anymore.
No, PS2 was the same way.
Yeah,
when they
promised
were hyping that.
Yep, promise you the world, and that's not what you end up getting. So I'm always wary of that. And again, how are you going to make it different? And I'm sorry, okay, so it looks different, and there's pretty lights on it, and the one version moves out when it's in performance mode.
Oh, God.
It's like a little box that opens up when it's in performance mode.
I have got 3 kids.
Another component that can break.
I was going to say, I've got 3 kids. You think I want to have a system that A, has another component that can break when they spill cookies and milk on it, or B, something that's going to bite their or my fingers off?
Yeah, it's just insane. So like that's all gimmicky stuff. That's nothing unique. But like if you're telling me that you're going to create a console for like indie games, that makes it really easy for indie game developers that are generally 1 or 2 people to push their stuff out. That's maybe an alternative to Steam.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just... Okay, I can kind of see that. Or if you just want to get into the console market so you can start having, games on your machine, and you're talking about exclusives that you're going to have on your machine that makes it different than the others. great, do that. But
Yeah,
I don't.
But I mean, you kind of hit the nail on the head there. That exclusivity requires dev buy-in on that.
Right.
yeah.
That's where you have Sony and Xbox duking out for sometimes like the first week of exclusivity on multi-platform stuff, or they're doing something in-house, such as even like Nintendo. You throw them in here on this one too. In terms of like you have Nintendo's own studio houses making stuff, you have Sony stuff making stuff exclusive for PlayStation. I think Microsoft is getting back into it. Like they did a while back, and they got out of it for a little bit, and they're kind of relying on other studios. I think they're getting back into it a little bit.
Yeah, they've got stuff. Crackdown 3 is coming out. They got
but it's like exclusivity is kind of your gateway, and also like it kind of helps promote. It's like this is why you want to buy.
Yeah, it's why you want to buy the system.
Only get the you want like a handful of games too, because there like every time there's a new series out, even of the current gen stuff, like some people are very reluctant to jump on it right away because it's like, guess what? You don't have a lot of games that I can necessarily play on it right away. Right. Yeah, I'll jump to it eventually, but like I want the library to be like kind of built up a little bit. That way, when I play it, I can play multiple games at anytime I want, obviously. But
yep, and Project Cars. I mean, they do have a game.
Great.
But they do have a developer under their belt, though, so they could at least come up with some sort of exclusive game. You know what I mean? And maybe a couple games when it goes to be released that might help them, and they might have contacts with the developers where they could
I'm
actually.
Sure, they might. I just hope the game's better than Project Cars.
Sure, and hopefully it is. And if they're making the hardware, hopefully they know how to program for their own freaking hardware. So I don't know. I mean, I guess in that aspect they have a chance. But even the guys talking about how there's too much of a monopoly in gaming, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, seriously,
we have talking about
PC, Nintendo, PlayStation, Xbox,
and Switch.
Nintendo, yeah.
Oh, sorry, you didn't say Nintendo. Okay.
You have mobile phones, you have Steam, you have Discord.
Mobile games don't count.
Oh yes, yes they do. We have to count them. They're it's a gaming option. You can't discount that. I know it's your favorite.
Shut up.
But I don't see the monopoly. Cool, you want to get in the market? That's great. But you know what? And I think he's hyping it way too early. Have a prototype.
That's where I'm.
Have some devs
hesitant.
under your belt. Do it right. Don't rush it out. Like, do it right. Have some devs under your belt. Like, these are the exclusives we can give you. We're working with these developers right now to come out with some more. Here's our working prototype.
Yeah, like why just announce a system when you have a sort of a prototype? You don't have any exclusive developer lined up. You're just saying
the design.
Yeah, you're saying, look, we made a pretty box.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they're already going about it in the wrong way. So,
yep.
I'd love to see it succeed. It gets us more games, but we'll just say the deck is very stacked against them at this point.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
All right.
Next, I put this one up too. So sorry I'm rambling so much here, but
you're good.
Netflix is making a Resident Evil reportedly. And it's going to be the same company, Constantine Film, which is behind the Resident Evil movies.
Interesting.
And, they are going to try to expand the Resident Evil universe. I've only seen 2 of the Resident Evil movies. I don't know how the rest of them are. They were entertaining.
They're entertaining.
I didn't dislike them. I like the girl they got to pick. I forget her name.
Mia Jovovich.
I just know it as Fifth Element. I just know it as
yes. Lilu Multipass.
Yes. Me protect you.
And so, are they expanding on, if we can use the term, the cinematic universe, or is it going to be just kind of its own spin-off?
They're going to keep the basic premise, from what I understand, but it's going to be a setup for the movie franchise. So I don't know if it's going to be before or after. That I don't know yet. Apparently, it's going to be a drama series that will explore the darker inner workings of the Umbrella Corporation as.
So are they going to go like the Walking Dead route then?
I hope not.
I really
we don't
hope
need any
not.
more. We don't need more zombies stuff.
we don't even need any more Walking Dead at this point.
Yeah, zombie drama.
It'd be interesting.
I don't know. There's not much known. Yeah, I'll watch. I'll probably check it out when it comes out.
The movies are entertaining. Like, even the most recent one that I saw, I God knows which one it was. It's like 6 or 7 now at this point. But it's entertaining. It's fucking popcorn movie,
Mm-hmm.
I'll watch it.
Yep.
The next one is mine. Brian Fargo, head of In Exile Entertainment. If that name sounds familiar, he used to be the head of Interplay, which was a very big software company in the 90s. Infamous for Star Trek 25th Anniversary. A ton of games. I honestly, I'm going to forget all of them at this point. But he's been hinting on Twitter that there are some big projects coming out of In Exile this year. Obviously, I know I mentioned it before. They recently released The Bard's Tale 4. Again, one of my favorite games of 2018. They're also the team that was behind Wasteland 2, which was fantastic. If you like those Baldur's Gate style RPGs, Wasteland 2 was great. So as far as what I've heard and what I already know, like they've already teased Wasteland 3. We know Wasteland 3 is coming out, whether it's this year or next. I don't know if they have a definite date, but Wasteland 3 is coming. So whatever they're teasing as far as a major project or major projects, has got to be something else. But in my experience, In Exile has been putting out some of the best RPGs in the past couple of years. So definitely going to be keeping my eye on that. And I'll say it again, if you like classic dungeon crawlers, you really should give Bard's Tale 4 a go. It's so much fun. I'm having a blast streaming it, and looking forward to streaming that more. So, yep. Something's coming from In Exile, so follow In Exile Entertainment on Twitter, follow Brian Fargo, and we'll see where this goes. But and this next one's big. I'll let you take this one, Kyle, to start.
I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't read too much up on this. I just heard about it today through Reddit and your post on the Save Point. Metroid Prime 4 working with Nintendo working with Retro Studios to come out with Metroid Prime 4. I think that's a great move, though.
Oh, hell yeah.
I love the Metroid Prime series. I love Retro Studios. I think Nintendo is going to do right by Metroid, I really hope, and kind of shy away from the other M.
Yeah, and
they worked with Ninja Theory, and I didn't Ninja Theory. I like Ninja Theory. They do great stuff with Ninja Gaiden, but
it's just not part of
Metroid.
Metroid,
it didn't fit. It didn't fit,
and that's basically what Nintendo said, was that the path it was going to go wasn't what they felt the fans deserved.
Right.
So, I think this is a great move. It's just, why should it be anybody else? Like, Retro Studios is going to nail it. So, like, do it right, do it great, and I think it's great news. I have to give Nintendo a lot of credit for kind of going out and being that transparent and saying, yeah, this is what we're doing. I mean, it's kind of a big misstep when you have to change a developer, for a game, switch plans kind of deal. But I think this is only going to be good for that, so...
So, am I reading this right? They did Donkey Kong Country, the one for Wii U and the Switch.
Retro Studios?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Am I reading that right? Because they did a great job with the newer Donkey Kong Countries.
No, they're really good. I think it's going to be great.
Yeah, I can't wait. I'm really looking forward to Prime 4. I am really looking forward to that game. So, I hope we get more news about that during E3, Nintendo's showcase.
Hell yeah,
indeed.
Well, not their E3, because they do that treehouse.
Yeah, it's their their showcase. Right. Yes, their offline show.
Oh, we haven't talked about PlayStation not doing E3 at all this year.
Oh, that's
not
right.
Even a showcase.
Right.
That's right. They're backing out. Well, they're not doing the what you call it, the opening.
Mm-hmm.
What do they call it?
No, I don't think they're going at all, though.
But they're not going at all.
No, they're not. They backed out completely. I don't think they have anything to show this year. You think they would? But
yeah,
like, some VR stuff.
They had a lot last year, but I guess it was all very like tentative. They didn't have solid dates on anything.
Yeah,
and they had that weird tent thing going on for their opening.
Yeah, I think they're going to be going by way of Nintendo and
just
events
offline.
Sure, I don't. E3's
I hope they
out.
don't do that. It's kind of a shame because I loved back in the day. Like, I know as bad as it was.
No, you still get excited though, and
no. But what I actually loved watching it for was when things went wrong.
Yes,
it's kind of a weird thing, but I loved it when something broke on stage because
Nick loves a good train wreck.
I do.
Who doesn't?
But to me, it was like, how well did they roll with it? And to me, like it stood more up to when I saw a game fail and they were able to like either like quickly recover. It's like, okay, this isn't like super bad. Whereas like if it failed spectacularly and they're like, okay, like cut to something else, like okay, something's wrong with this game, and like keep it at arm's length before checking it out. It was kind of, you can kind of get a temperature of like what's going on. But now they have this kind of like sterile, like with what Nintendo's doing, where it's like it's a very sterile, it's very
heavily produced.
Exactly. Heavily produced. Nothing wrong is going into this thing. Obviously, it's like it's going to be like the best of the best. It's going to look great, but it's like you don't get that authenticity of like, okay, this thing could break at any moment because it's so pushing the envelope,
right?
And like I don't know, I'm gonna miss that aspect, and I've already missed that aspect because I always felt like Nintendo, like they never had any failures, but like the way they presented, like that was the other thing, just like watching.
The presentations were so great; they were so theatrical.
Because it's theatrical and or just so corny that you just had to like laugh.
You had to love it. You loved it.
Yeah, and like going to this more sterile form. And now, granted, Nintendo did that puppet with it. I thought the puppet a year was pretty clever.
Oh, that was great. Yeah,
but they didn't bring it back. It's like, oh man, come on, bring that back. I'd enjoy that. But yeah, I don't know. Again, I don't know. Something is lost in terms of the authenticity and just like the live factor of it is no longer there. It's like, oh man,
Yeah.
It's gonna be interesting to see what Xbox does, considering they're the only ones that are probably
they'll be the only ones, doing like, or at the very least the spokesperson. I can't imagine like they're pulling out completely. Like I imagine Sony will do what Nintendo does, where like they'll be on the show floor, but they won't do the opening presentation.
I don't know. We'll see.
They're
making it sound like they're not going at all.
Yeah, that's totally what I heard.
Pulling everything out. Wow.
They're out. Yeah.
So what do they have to show? They like. I really think right now they're. Pardon the phrase, but balls deep in the PS5. I don't think they have anything to show.
Yeah, I don't think they have any exclusives.
That's the going rumor that they're working on the next one. I mean, PS4 is what? How many years old now? I mean, it's getting
5. It's almost at 4 or 5. It's towards. I mean,
towards the end.
Console life cycle is 5 years.
5-7 years.
PS2 went like I think 8 years, I think, and then 3 about 6 or 7 or 8 almost.
Yeah, 7's usually the average, and I've heard Xbox is working on theirs, so I don't know. I mean, I know Xbox is probably going to go get more exclusives, fellas, please.
You could just feel the defeat in your voice. I think Xbox.
Yeah, so. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
But all right, that will be it for news this week. There's definitely a lot going on. The year is going to be starting off a bang between we got E3 coming up, and we got PAX East coming up. We got a bunch of games coming out, so it's going to be fun to keep track of.
I guess that's the question. Like, how are they gonna? Are they leaving it to the developers to kind of choose their own path in terms of I say revealing, but demoing their game? Is it?
I guess.
Like PAX,
I mean, that's what they usually do at PAX, right?
Going to E3 on their own. Yeah, kind of, sort of, but like PAX is never. I mean, Prime is probably maybe the closest thing because it's pretty big. I mean, you do see a lot of demos there, but it's never. I wouldn't put it like on E3's levels necessarily because like E3 is designed for the industry, whereas PAX, like, you'll be able to demo it. But usually it's like you're talking about like it might be like a month to maybe weeks before a public downloadable demo is going to be ready, and that's basically what you'll end up playing most of the time on the show floor. Like they're never demoing something like in a super
something
like,
early,
potentially alpha. Yeah, like I mean sometimes you do. Usually like maybe indie studio or something will have something like really
Colonial
raw.
Marines.
Yeah, yeah. No, that was a bait and switch on that one because I actually went to
I
the
remember.
Colonial Marine thing. I think it was I want to say it was PAX East.
It
when I went to
was.
that.
I remember you
And
talking about it.
Great presentation, but it was that opening sequence, and that's all they showed us. And then when you see the rest of the game, it's like, wow, you hid the pile of shit hiding behind the curtain, and the curtain was just like everything else beyond the presentation. It's like
I thought I smelled something behind there, and you proved it.
Yeah.
All right, so that's it for news. We'll move on to our save point game of the month, which is Darkwing Duck. And yes, I had some time to play it.
I did not yet. I'm going to be playing it this week. So
I played it once, and then I suddenly had horror flashbacks of like, this game is hard.
Yes! Holy shit! I played this earlier today on my lunch break, and I was like, man, they really fucking dumbed down games in the past few years. Like,
oh yeah.
Holy shit! I'm sitting there playing Darkwing Duck, and I'm like trying to jump and grab the goddamn hooks, and I'm falling. I'm like, God, I feel like my goddamn mom trying to play Mario Brothers. Like, I'm just dying left and right.
How do I do this?
I don't know. I mean, it for what it is, and for its time, I think it was pretty far ahead of its league. Kind of like DuckTales, where you could choose the board you want to go to, which I thought was cool.
Well, yeah, it was made by Capcom, and it reflects in all its design. Like it is very like
Mega
I always
Man.
considered very Mega Man, and Capcom games were always super difficult. Like,
yes,
not like impossible, but they were hard.
They're hard,
and that echoes through this game through and through.
Yeah, yep. I mean, it's cool. The mechanics are cool. It's just a tough game. Maybe I'm getting old and crotchety, and I just don't have the fucking patience anymore. But I played it for a while. But yeah, I don't know. I'll probably play it a little more after I have a couple more drinks later, and I don't want to throw shit.
Yeah, I'm gonna jump into that this week. I'll have more thoughts on that next cast to finish that game.
I'd be interested to hear because like Kyle still has his 4-year-old reflexes. I don't.
Somehow I do when it comes to like, platforming adventure games like that.
Dude, I watched you when we were doing not this year, but last year when you were doing Extra Life and you were doing Cuphead.
Cuphead, yeah.
Sweet Christ. Yeah. Like watching him play Cuphead, I'm like, God damn it, maybe I'm just old and slow.
Yeah, that game is fucking tough.
That game is brutal.
That game is tough.
But I love it. Like I still go back and play to try to get past certain boards. To no avail. But
I'm at like 80%.
Oh wow.
I'm stuck where I'm at. Like I've tried it so many fucking times, and it gets to the point where I'm just like, I gotta walk away.
Yeah, like my brother-in-law, like Ross is so good at stuff like that. Like he's a really solid gamer, and that game pissed him off. Like he got to the ice cream one.
Mm-hmm.
And that pissed him off. Like he's like, this is fucking cheap. Like he's like, I can't. He's like, this is ridiculous. And yeah, I mean, I'll go back to it. Just because,
I go back and forth to that one. That's one that I always enjoy going back to him.
A beautiful game. God damn, is that a beautiful game?
It is. So there you go. Play that for about an hour, and then go to Darkwing, and you'll be freaking amazing at it.
It's probably true. I should try it and like boost up my reflexes a bit. Good Lord. Well, all right, we'll move on to our question of the bye week. We don't have any voicemails tonight. Hope you're all right out there, Fred, and everybody else that calls once in a while. If you do want to call, you can give us a shout at 610-810-1654. You can either answer the question of the bye week, or you can just rant, talk about, I don't know, your dog shitting on your rug or something, whatever. But yeah, so no voicemails, so we'll kind of move into the save point. We had a couple answers here for the question of the bye week, and I just want to double check. I feel like we did get an answer on Twitter, and I normally neglect these, and I don't want to do that.
See, if you were like me and we're on Twitter nonstop, you would see them more often.
You are a liar.
Bunch of liars here tonight.
That was my best James Lipton. It was not very good.
It was okay. I'd give it
are-
a solid B.
You are a delight. All right, no, we don't have any on Twitter, so... All right, so let's move over to the save point. The question of the bye week was, with Nintendo and Retro working on Metroid, what other devs would you want to see work on a game? Eric AZ Rockslide over at the Everyday Gamer said, in the past, I would have said I want the BioWare team to do a Babylon 5 game. But I'm not... I know, I was like, man, that's a great idea. And then I read his next sentence, and I'm like, shit, he's right. But I'm not sure I can trust them with EA hovering over them. I still want a B5 game, however, and I think I might have the perfect candidate. Jaeger. For those of you who don't know, Jaeger made Special Ops The Line. Fantastic game. That game did such a fantastic job of forcing you to make difficult decisions where there was no clear winner. If they would bring those storytelling sensibilities to an intergalactic war building around B5, that could be amazing. I just wish we could get the original voice actors. Some of them have died, including Andreas Katsoulis, who played Gakar. I'm probably not saying that right. Full disclosure, I didn't watch much Babylon 5, and I do need to watch it because I know I missed out. Really miss him, as he was my favorite character in the series. I can just say, based on my experience with Special Ops The Line, I agree. I think Jaeger did an awesome job with that. And I think whether it's Babylon 5 or a BioWare-style game, I think they would do a really great treatment of it. So it would be really interesting to see that.
I think I'm going to say mid-year BioWare. So it's around the time Mass Effect 1 came out. I think that BioWare could have been the one.
Yeah.
Like I agree with him. Like current BioWare, I don't know. Especially the way that we're holding off on Anthem. It's like, but yeah, I'd say like mid-year, because like earlier that was like the Jade Empire and
what a great game that was.
Solid game. But it's definitely like, you go back and it's like, it's a little rough around the edges, where like I think by the time they got to Mass Effect, they had started to like really perfect things. They had gone through
they hit their stride.
One, and they hit their stride by the time they hit Mass Effect 1. And I think that would have been the studio at the time to do it. And I think Babylon 5 would have been a great platform, because I mean, it's I don't want to oversimplify it because it did more than that, but it was kind of like politics in space. I mean, it was kind of the original DS9. Like, the thing is, I didn't like DS9 when I was younger, because it wasn't like they were constantly going out on a starship. They were like stuck on the station. But I actually have come to appreciate DS9 in my latter years of like going back, like, now understanding like the political, geopolitical, social situations that are going on.
I should watch that, because I didn't like it when I was younger.
I would say it's definitely worth going back. Like, you got to get past season 1. Season 1 is like super slow and rough, but like around season 2 it gets better. And then obviously by the end you get the Dominion War, and it gets super exciting then. But I don't know, I have a better appreciation for it now that I'm older. I need to do the same thing with Babylon 5, because I only watched a few episodes here and there, but it was like, man, this is actually really, really good.
I'll have to look into that, because that was another one that kind of went over my head, and I was younger at the time. So I think I'll definitely check it out. I'll check out both of them. The next answer came from our pal John. He would like to see Rare revive Conquer. Who the hell wouldn't? Oh my god, I've been saying that for years.
Well, I mean, it could be in the works. I mean, they're reviving Battletoads.
That's true.
And like, are they going through their entire back library? Like, they don't seem to be intent on doing Donkey Kong. I think that's because Nintendo controls that part of the Rare development. But like,
it's kind of the same thing with Banjo-Kazooie.
Yeah. Well, they were at least able to put something in Sea of Thieves. They had a figurehead of Banjo-Kazooie.
Well, that's right. No, Banjo's on the Xbox as well. So
so Banjo is on Xbox. Yep.
It could well be in the territory of they could revisit it. So I'm not saying they are working out. We always
they should. The story left off on a cliffhanger.
Oh, absolutely. It's like, but I mean, here's the thing: like, the fact that they're doing Battletoads, like, that there's a glimmer of hope. There's a possibility they could go back through their entire archive and like make the next one. And it's like, yes, let's see.
I guarantee you, I still don't get past the goddamn speed bike board. Who wants to take odds on that?
Damn,
You'll win.
speed bikes. Hey, you got Battletoads?
Oh, that was the best. All right. That is all the answers we have this week to the question of the bye week. That's kind of my fault. We kind of put it out too late, so sorry if you meant to get an answer in and didn't. That's, again, my fault for not putting it out soon enough. We'll be back on the ball for that in 2 weeks. So we'll head on over to conclusions, final thoughts, shout-outs, whatever you want to do. We'll start with you, Kyle, because you always have so many.
I don't have any shout-outs. I'm going to just answer the question of the bye week, what I thought.
Oh, yeah, I guess you want to know that, too. Shit.
I had prepared... Yeah, sorry, guys. I don't mean to make this longer, but...
No. I forgot to let you guys answer. God damn.
I actually was going more for an angle of what 2 developers I would like to see work on a game.
Oh, okay.
So I think... So I'll just answer that from my end, but I think I want to see a game from the 90s by Rare and HAL working together.
Wow.
I think they would make a pretty powerhouse Nintendo, Super Nintendo game.
Yes, they would.
Yep.
Oh, what about you, Nick? That's a cool question now that I understand it.
I would almost like to see I mean we've kind of got a little bit of revival recently, via Telltale, but now they're going the way of the dodo.
They're gone.
But something like from old Sierra,
yes.
or I think even Interplay, we talked about Interplay, like they did the same thing, but like we talked about like the Journeyman project last week, or not 2 weeks ago, last episode. But I would love to see another like FMV style like puzzle game, like another like Myst or something like that.
Did you check out Bandersnatch?
No, I got it. Well, no, I take that back. That was the Netflix thing, right?
Yeah, the Black Mirror one.
Yeah. I did. I actually did check that out. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's more like Granted, I think some of them had a couple multiple choice, but it's basically like A path, B path. But I don't know. I'd like to see kind of more on the puzzle side of things, of like kind of what we saw with like Myst and Journeyman project.
Yeah, I hear it.
Yeah, things like that. Like something along those lines. Granted, again, Telltale was like the kind of the closest thing we had to it. Granted, it was animated, but I don't know. For me, maybe it's a little bit of nostalgia. It's like I'd like to see that FMV style again.
That'd be pretty sweet.
That cheesy. I don't know. It's cheesy, but at the same time, I don't know. It was endearing.
Yeah, it was a Ripper. That was another one.
Yeah,
the one with Christopher Walken.
Oh, yeah.
I have that on. It was actually on the Internet Archive. You can download it. They have the ISOs for that, the Ripper game. If you're interested. Hello?
Yeah.
Man.
I didn't press my button.
I'm just hitting the dead air today. So, alright. I like this. I would love to see... This would kind of be the wackiest meeting of the minds, but I think the two of them are geniuses in their own right, and I think they can make something really cool. I'd love to see Lord British and Origin, Richard Garriott and Will Wright get together and make something. Or, man.
Sim Ultima?
Yeah, like you could do Sim Ultima, or even switching gears a little bit. Now we can really go off the rails. Let's have Richard lead the project and Peter Molyneux design it. That way, or they can both design it, but Richard will lead it because it'll eventually get released. But I'd like to see something like that because they're the three of those guys are such huge imagination developers, and they're such game changers in the stuff that they've done. It would be really neat to see them work together on a project, and I couldn't even imagine what the hell it would be. It sim medieval everything. I don't know, but it would be an interesting result, I think. I don't know why that just comes to mind as something I think could be pretty off the wall and cool. At least it'd be different and not a remake. As far as I would imagine, anyway. All right, so that's our answers for the question of the bye week. Sorry about rushing that before. So we'll now definitely go to conclusions, final thoughts, and shoutouts. Kyle, are you sure you don't have anything to shout out? Now that you've had time to think about it.
Oh, I wasn't thinking. No, they're just thanks to our listeners and all the downloads.
Yeah, absolutely.
Appreciate all the feedback and everything. So, yeah, thanks, guys.
Yeah, thank you to everybody for the feedback and
I'm sorry, and happy birthday to my son. He turns 4. He just turned 4.
Happy birthday, big guy.
Yep.
That's awesome. What about you, Sir Nicholas?
Nothing new from me. Just the usual. You can always catch me on Twitch and whatnot.
Yeah, Black Eagle Ops. Go check him out. All right, so obviously big shout out to the listeners. Thank you for listening, and obviously people are spreading the word, which we really appreciate. If you do enjoy the show, we just ask that whatever medium you're listening to us through, leave us a review. Good, bad, I don't care. You know, good critical feedback's always welcome, as is praise, of course. But yeah, no, thank you everybody for listening. A big shout out to Team Good for Gaming. And you know, everybody's pushing forward. They're supporting multiple charities this year, gaming for multiple charities. So it's just great to be a part of that. And just shout out to everybody in that community. Shout out to our pals over at the Everyday Gamers. They released a couple of best of episodes over the holidays that were really good. You know, check those out. It's a great podcast. And obviously, big shout out to the boys over at Bad Fodder Figures. I know I'd mentioned on the last episode we were going to do a Red Dead 2 spoiler cast, but that actually did not come to be. There was just too many scheduling conflicts. So it'll be rescheduled at some point in the future. Keep an eye out on the Bad Fodder Figures Twitter. And Captain Mike M will also, I'm sure, announce something once he has some more concrete plans for that. But other than that, check out the Bad Fodder Figures. They're great. You know, shout out to Mike, Jeremy, Eric, and Matt, Mr. Devious, Mr. Matt, and your amazing, terrible topics. Oh my God, those are funny. He digs up the weirdest news articles. My favorite being the drunk woman outside of Walmart on a motor scooter drinking wine out of a Pringles can. You just can't make that up. Beautiful.
Walmart, man.
It's beautiful. Other than that, if you'd like to interact with us directly, you can hang out in the save point at tiny.cc/savepoint. We're always talking games there. If you want to email us, you can email theretrorents at gmail.com. We're on Twitter at theretrorents. I'm on there at retrorentsal. Nick is there at Black Eagle Ops. Kyle is there at Bradley_Shirk, no_. But wow, you have like 40 followers, dude.
I don't know how.
Because they listen to this show and they like hope you'll say something.
I'm gonna log in right now and just be like, "Hi."
I saw that the other day. I'm like, that piece of shit's got like 50 followers and he's never on. Oh, that just made me laugh. I had to tell you about that.
I don't remember my password.
As far as all three of us stream on occasion, Nick streams much more regularly at Black Eagle Ops on Twitch. Or I'm sorry, Black Eagle Ops on Twitch. I'm starting to stream more regularly. I'm kind of enjoying it, so I think I'm just gonna, do the occasional stream. I'll announce it on Twitter. A handful of hours before I plan on going live. I don't think I'll ever get on a set schedule having 3 children, at least not for the foreseeable future, but I'll definitely give some advance notice. I like to play, obviously, older games, but, now that I have a pretty sweet computer, I've been playing some newer stuff, too, but I generally like to stream things that I get from, independent developers. If I get a review copy or something, I'll always stream that and then give it a fair shake. And I think I mentioned it on the last cast. I'm still working my way through because man did that game get hard, but Lovecraft's Untold Stories, that is a really great indie PC twin stick shooter, but with a Lovecraftian mythos bent, and that's Blindsy Games or Blintz Games. Really, really good. Check it out if you like games like that, especially if you like Lovecraft Mythos. I might start streaming that one. Could be continuing my Quest for Glory stream, or it might be something totally different. But I'll let people know. And I'm RetroRentsL on Twitch. Kyle is Kibbis on Twitch, which is Kibbis. And I think that will wrap up episode 32.
I have one more comment to make before you make your last thoughts.
Oh, please do.
I have 53 followers.
Fuck you.
Oh.
I've clawed my way up to however many followers I have at this point in time. He doesn't post a goddamn thing, and he's got 50 people waiting to hear him say something.
Not true. I just tweeted hi.
Wait, I gotta look at my phone. Bradley_Shirk has just tweeted for the first time in a while. Check it out.
That's awesome.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, Nick, any final thoughts from you? Any advice you want to give the listeners?
Sail on fearlessly.
Sail on fearlessly. Fearlessly. I like that. I like that. And just remember, avatars, never give up on the virtues. And on that note, we will catch you guys in 2 weeks for the next episode. Till then, see ya.
Arriba Turkey.
Arriba Turkey.
Arriba Turkey.
Later, everyone.